Back in December, the regime of Syria's long-ruling dictator, President Bashar al-Assad, was toppled in a lightning offensive led by Islamist groups with Turkish backing and support. And the country is now run by an interim government led by President Ahmed al-Sharaa, a former jihadist linked to al-Qaeda, who led the Islamist rebels to overthrow Assad. In March, hundreds of people were killed among the Alawite minority, a minority to which Assad belonged, when the Syrian army moved against the Alawite militias, and they seem to have engaged in a series of rather dreadful massacres. Then in April, violence broke out in Sueda, in the south of the country, between Druze militia groups and Syria's new security forces, with dozens there killed. The recent fighting has again been centred on Sueda, this time between Druze militias and Bedouin tribal groups who are close to the government in Damascus. Several hundred have been killed. So, who are these two particular groups? Well, there are almost 700,000 Druze people in Syria, with more in Lebanon, Israel and in the occupied Golan Heights. The Druze faith is an offshoot of Shia Islam, and Druze leaders have different views about their natural allies. Some, but by no means all, are implacably opposed to the government in Damascus, and they see Israel as a natural protector. And last week, Israel launched airstrikes inside Syria in support of them. Inside Israel, Druze citizens of Israel are seen as loyal to Tel Aviv, and they even serve in Israeli military. Nevertheless, inside Syria, Druze militia groups are also accused of atrocities in the current fighting. Now, the Bedouin are another minority in Syria, also numbering about 700,000. They are Sunni Muslims, as are the jihadists who toppled the Assad regime. And they're traditionally nomadic tribes that have inhabited the territories around the region for centuries. And they're loyal, not least as co-religionists, to the new Syrian government. And so long-running tensions with the Bedouin tribes and the Druze have erupted into deadly clashes in the southern province of Sueda 2 weeks ago. The Syrian government stepped in to restore order, but they and Bedouin fighters who were with them are also accused of more atrocities. And that prompted Israel's intervention, Israel launching dozens of airstrikes into Syrian territory against Syrian government forces and hitting even the defense ministry headquarters in Damascus as a direct warning to the Syrian government. Israel says it is determined to establish a demilitarized zone in southwestern Syria. But violence flared again last week. Another ceasefire and some withdrawals were agreed after heavy pressure from the United States. But that has been followed even by more local violence. So far, a fragile ceasefire appears to be holding, with government and Bedouin fighters withdrawing from Sueda. And Bedouin families are now being moved out of Sueda in deference to its Druze majority. And that might turn out to be a portent for Syria's future.